Hi folks, this is Karim Rao for IT Visualizer channel. We will continue our lab that is Art Lab. This is the video number 49. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We have finished securing Windows Server 2019 based on the recommendations of the Department of Defense and the Defense Information System Agency of the United States. We have finished this topic. We have covered it in 18 videos. We will go further and see most of the recommendations for the Department of Defense and the Defense Information System Agency of the United States concerning other programs and other systems. One of these programs we will talk today, it is the Microsoft Edge. Okay, it is a browser. There is a little bit of explanation here. It was introduced first with Windows 10 in 2015, and actually at the beginning it was not a good browser. It was limited, or let's see, it was not as good as it is today. Okay, so what happened to Microsoft Edge? Microsoft Edge is now built on Chromium. Okay, what is Chromium? This is a free open source web browser that Google Chrome, okay, you can see this is Chromium. Chromium, it is an open source web browser that Chrome is built on it, and now Microsoft Edge also is built on Chromium. So technically speaking, Microsoft Edge is acting the same as Chrome, or they are built on the same open source browser, which is Chromium. So they have the same flexibility, the same extensions, can work both on Microsoft Edge and Chrome, and they have the same speed, the same features. All of them are the same. So basically, if you are working with Microsoft Edge, you are working at the same time with Microsoft Chrome. Working with Google Chrome, because they are built on the same open source browser, which is Chromium. So why I prefer Edge on Chrome? First of all, Microsoft Edge is acting the same as Chrome. They have the same features, but if you go further, actually Microsoft Edge has more features. Okay, this is one. The second is the compatibility between the Microsoft Edge and the other Microsoft products like Windows 10 or other products or Office or so and so. There is compatibility between these products as a whole. And the second or the third thing is the updates of these browsers. These updates can be pushed or pulled from the WSOS. Okay, if you have a WSOS in your environment, it's called Windows Server Update Service. If you have this kind of server in your environment, you can get the Microsoft Edge updates through the WSOS. Okay, so this is another feature that makes me more confident and more determined to use Microsoft Edge. So for example, if you have Chrome, if you need to update it from a centralized location, or you need to if you need to update it on a lot of PCs at once, you cannot do this using the WSOS. Okay, you need to have something called Patch Manager. Okay, so this is one of the things also that makes me more determined, as I said before, or more let's see, more selective, or let me see, more confident in using Microsoft Edge, because it is updated through WSOS. It is the same as Chrome from the functionality and the extensions and a lot of things actually. So today we'll begin our first video on how to secure Microsoft Edge using the recommendations of the Department of Defense and the Defense Information System Agency of the United States. So let's see the PDF. Here we can see that the first thing here, it is the PDF itself, and this is also one of the release. It was released in March, okay, 11, 2019. So this is not a recent one, but you can check the website for regular or for more updated versions. Anyway, it's about 2 years, so there is not a lot to has changed in the Microsoft Edge setting or browser. Okay, so let's see or begin with the recommendations one by one. We will so here actually, let's see here. it is the release number 2. It was released in 23 of July 2021. Actually, the first release was in July, I think. If I'm talking, if this is the day and this is the month, so it was released in June 2019, and this is the second release. It is 23 of July 2021. This is a very recent release. Okay, so let's see the recommendations, or let's begin working with the recommendations. Here is saying that user control of proxy setting must be disabled. Okay, what is a proxy? A proxy, it is a kind of a server, okay, that caches most of your websites to make browsing the websites more faster. This is number one. And number two, a proxy, it is something like to filter the websites that you are browsing or that you are surfing. So through the proxy, you are making caching of most of your websites or your frequent websites that you are visiting, so it makes the browsing experience more faster. And it's something from it you can control what the user can see from the websites. Okay, so this is now, it was before a separate server, but nowadays most of our firewalls have a proxy server in it. So for example, you have a FortiGate or a Sophos firewall. It acts as a proxy server and acts as a firewall and acts as a web filter. So in the old days, when when the proxy was a separate server from the firewall, you need to go to every browser on every machine in the domain to put the proxy settings. So the user should communicate with the proxy server, okay, and then after that the proxy server will communicate with the firewall. So this is what happens. So the first thing here is, or the first recommendation is to disable or to prevent the user from changing the proxy setting. Okay, so what the user can do, for example, if he does not want to filter his websites, or he does not want anyone to filter the websites or to block some websites he is browsing, he can change the proxy setting to point to another proxy server outside your network, and this will let him pass all of the restrictions that you have put on him, for example, not to bypass some websites, okay, or not to view some websites. This is very famous for a browser called Tor, okay, or Tor. It is something, a browser referred to as an onion icon, okay. Most of the users use it to bypass most of the proxy servers and your firewall, actually. Okay, so this is what we need to control. We do not want the user to change the proxy setting in his browser, so he will not be able to bypass my proxy server or to even bypass my firewall. Okay, so we need to close it. We need, first of all, we need to disable change the proxy setting, and if you have a proxy in your environment, you need to push the proxy setting in the browsers. For example, tell the browser of Edge what is my proxy IP address, what is my proxy URL, okay, or other things related to the proxy setting. Okay, so here first of all we need to disable changing of the proxy setting and push the proxy setting to my Microsoft Edge browsers in all of my network. So let's see here, where is this recommendation? So this proxy setting configures, this action configures the proxy setting for Microsoft Edge. If the proxy is enabled, Microsoft Edge ignores all proxy options specified. Anyway, so here we will configure the proxy setting, okay. From it we will give him the proxy mode, and we will see what is a proxy mode, and the proxy pack URL. This is the URL of the server or the proxy server, and the proxy server IP address, and the proxy bypass list if you need to bypass some websites not to be blocked, or to be let's say not to be blocked, to be bypassed or to be viewed by the user. You can tell him from this one. Okay, so let's see an example how we can do this. First of all, this is a website called Admx Help. This is a website that explains most of the group policies in the Windows. Okay, so for example, let's see here what we mean, or we have here in this proxy setting we have something called proxy mode. Let's see the explanation. Lets you specify the proxy server used by Microsoft Edge and prevent users from changing proxy setting. Proxy mode, we will configure it. And proxy pack URL, it is a URL to a proxy.pack file. Proxy server URL for your proxy server or the IP address. Proxy bypass, a list of proxy hosts that Microsoft is bypass or let it go, or you can browse it. Okay, for the proxy mode we have some setting. Okay, direct, a proxy server is never used and all other fields are ignored. Direct, it means that the proxy mode is disabled. You will not use a proxy mode, or you don't have a proxy in your environment. System, the system's proxy is used and all other fields are ignored. Okay, it will take it from the system of the Windows system. If you have configured the proxy server on your Windows system, not on your browser, it will be taken from the Windows system setting. Okay, auto detect, it will detect if there is a proxy or not. Fixed server, this is, or if you have a server here, you will define that you have an IP address for the server, and to bypass he will go and check the bypass and the proxy server. Okay, so if you have configured the proxy mode to be fixed server, he need to go and check the proxy server here setting and the bypass. Okay, and last and not least, pack script or pack URL. Anyway, let's see an example. For example, if we configured as direct, direct means that a proxy server is never used. Direct, so we don't have a proxy server, is never used, and all of things. And this is the proxy pack URL, I don't know what is it, and this is the proxy server. But actually this is not a good thing. Direct means that we will disable the proxy server anyway. So here it's giving us direct, it means a proxy server is never used and all other fields are ignored, so it's not direct. If we need to configure it, we can make it as fixed server, and then we can put the proxy server IP address and the bypass. If you need to bypass certain websites through the proxy, this can be done. Okay, so this is how we can configure this group policy. Let's go and see how we can get it from by the way, you need to add the group policy template for the Microsoft Edge. Okay, before doing this process you need to add the group policy template of the Microsoft Edge to your group policy management console, so you can see it. Okay, I will show you all how this can be done, but let me show how we can get the group policy from the group policy management console. So I think we can pass this real quickly. We can go there. So here we go. This is the Edge. I have made a group policy for the Edge in my group policy management console and name it Microsoft Edge version 88. Okay, by the way, Microsoft Edge has a lot of versions. Actually the latest version, I think it's 94. Anyway, so we can see here that we have the group policy templates. Here we cannot see any group policy related to the Edge, okay, because I didn't add the template of the Microsoft Edge to my group policy templates yet. Let's see how we can do this. We need to go to the Microsoft website, download the Microsoft Edge group policy, and then add it. Now I will show you how we can add it. Tell him right click. So here we need to tell him right click, and so we can see here I don't see any Microsoft Edge group policy. So I have downloaded the Microsoft Edge group policy from the internet. I need to go to right click administrative templates and then add template, and then tell him add the template, and then go to the folder. Yes, this is the folder that I have downloaded the Microsoft Edge group policy from it, and tell him to add. If you wait for a couple of seconds, we will see something here called classic. Let's see here. Something called classic administrative templates. We need to play with the Microsoft Edge. There is something called a Microsoft default setting. Okay, users can override, so users can change the default setting of the Microsoft Edge. We will not play with this part, we play with the other part, Microsoft Edge. So let's go and open the proxy setting and configure the proxy setting for our server and prevent users from changing it. So we have proxy server, and then we need to give him the proxy setting, okay, and configure it, okay, in the way that we have seen the example. So I have shown you that this example, if you go there, we need to go and give this setting, okay, and then so we have this setting written in this way, and then copy it and put it in the group policy. Okay, so let's see how this is done. If we go there and open the group policy, so what we will do, we'll open the group policy setting, okay, and then tell him enable, okay, and in this field we need to go and make an example like this. So this is proxy mode, we need to put a value, proxy pack URL to put a value, proxy server to put a value, proxy bypass list for the Microsoft websites, and copy all of these values and setting and to put it in this field. Okay, I haven't do this actually because I was not realizing that I need to do this. So let's go and not this one. Okay, so we will go to the other recommendation after that, which is called bypass Windows Defender smart screen prompts for sites must be disabled. So the Microsoft Defender smart screen, this is a part of the Windows Defender package. We all know that the Windows Defender has two softwares, the Windows Defender Firewall and the Windows Defender Antivirus. So the Windows Defender smart screen is a part of the Windows Defender package. I don't think it is a part of the antivirus, but anyway, it is a protection method by the Windows Defender called Smart Screen. Smart Screen prompts you when you are browsing the Microsoft Edge. If it suspects a website that it is malicious or it is not secure, it will pop up a message telling you that it is not secure. Okay, and you have the option to continue browsing the website or not to continue browsing. Here we need to tell him to prompt you, to give you a message that this website is not secure and to block you from continuing to the site. So we need to do this. Okay, so this will be configured. We need to go and configure it from the Microsoft Edge group policy. So we need to tell him prevent bypassing Windows Defender smart screen prompts for sites, and this should be enabled. So you will be warned that the website is not secure and you'll be blocked from continuing to serve or to surf the website. So we need to do this. Here we can see that prevent bypassing, this is done. We have already done this, so this is configured. So we have this, and we have a lot of things actually. One of them is first of all not to bypass Microsoft Defender smart screen warning for sites, and there is another warning from Windows Defender for downloading of. So let's see here the other things here. It's saying warning about downloads must be disabled. This setting allows a decision to be made on whether users can override Microsoft smart screen warnings about unverified downloads. Here you can see but it's not disabled, to be enabled. Here is saying here he have a mistake. Okay, so we need also the smart or the Microsoft Defender smart screen give you a warning when you are downloading a file. If this file is not verified or he doesn't recognize this file. How he does recognize the files? By seeing the signing or the signature on the files downloaded. If it is from a company that is known, for example, if he have a signature of Microsoft on the file, then that means this file is secure or you can download it. If it's not verified, he doesn't know the file source or from where it is located or the location of the source of the file, okay, he will not let you download it. Okay, so this is also a good thing to know. We need to tell him to prevent bypassing of Microsoft Windows Defender smart screen warning about downloads, so the user will be notified that the download downloaded file is suspicious, and it will not let you download it. Okay, so this is one of the things also we need to do this. So we need to enable Windows Defender warning about downloads. Okay, and another thing, a list of domains which Microsoft Smart Screen will not trigger warning must be whitelisted. So every website the Microsoft Defender Smart Screen will scan it, okay, or will audit it for, let's see, scan it for, he will scan the website to see if it is secure or not, it is verified or not, and he will see the files downloaded from the website if it is secure or not, it is verified or not. You can make a whitelist with most of your secure websites and tell the Microsoft Defender Smart Screen not to scan it, because you are sure it is secure. List of domains, for example your internal websites, your company websites, tell the Microsoft Defender Smart Screen to bypass it, not to scan it and give you anything about it. Okay, so this is also can be done from the same section. I will show you all how we can do this. We can do it from Microsoft Edge Smart Screen setting. Okay, let's see where it is. Okay, you can give him a list or a whitelist or a list of the websites you need to bypass from the Microsoft Defender Smart Screen. Okay, let's see also a small explanation about let's see here, Windows Defender Smart Screen. So here it is a cloud-based anti-phishing and anti-malware component included in Microsoft products, including Windows 8 and later. So it is a cloud-based program for anti-phishing and anti-malware components. So this is very, very good. It's a product. It's a cloud-based product. Okay, so this is very, very, very good. Is Windows Defender good? It's completely safe. So it is a cloud-based. So this is one good information I need to know. It's a cloud-based product. Okay, I think it's not related to the Windows Defender. Anyway, it is integrated in the Microsoft Defender. So here we can see here that Smart Screen setting, we have configured Microsoft Defender Smart Screen. So we have enabled this option, prevent bypassing Microsoft Windows Defender Smart Screen prompt for websites and for downloaded files, and the list of domains that the Windows Defender should pass or to be bypassed. Okay, so all of these are configured from here. We have all of these three configured, and the last one, I think it will come, configure Microsoft Smart Screen to block potential things. I will see this recommendation later, or we will see it later. So here we need to enable, okay, configure a list of websites to be bypassed from the Windows Defender Smart Screen. So here we can type any websites we need to bypass. So for example, if you need to configure for example Google website, you need to configure Microsoft website. So all of these will be allowed to bypass the Microsoft Windows Defender Smart Screen. Okay, let's continue. So all of these are websites that will be bypassed or will not be scanned by the Microsoft Defender Smart Screen. And by the way, the Smart Screen also warns you when you are trying to install a program if he doesn't verify. So it's not only when you are downloading a file, when you are installing an application, it also will give you a warning, okay, if this file is not secure, or he sees it as a malware or something. Anyway, the next thing is to in private mode must be disabled. What is in private mode? In private mode, it is a way or an option when activated in the Microsoft Edge, all of the browsing history of the user will be deleted once he finished browsing. It's called in private mode. In private modes, puts you an something in invisible mode. You can browse and do all of your browsing, and after finishing it or closing the tab or closing the browser itself, all of your history will be removed. Let's see also more explanation about in private mode Microsoft Edge. So what is Microsoft Edge in private? When you use in private tabs or windows, your browsing data like your history, temporary internet files and cookies isn't saved on your PC once you are done. Okay, so this is, as I said before, it will delete your history, temporary internet files and cookies from the websites that you have visited. So all of this as if you are an invisible man or you didn't browse at all. Okay, so this is, we don't need the user to do this because we need to monitor his activity. Okay, so I think also if you have a web filter or you have a firewall, it will monitor or it will log the activity of the user. But we need to do this from two ways, from the browser itself and from the firewall. The firewall, we already configure it to log the websites the user is visiting, but we need to configure also from the browser itself. Anyway, so let's go and prevent the user from browsing in private mode. Okay, so in private mode must be disabled. And by the way, all of these options are in the Chrome. Okay, and as I said before, why I preferring to use Edge over Chrome. So we'll tell him in private mode. So let's go and tell him Microsoft Edge, and let's disable in private mode to be used by the users. So it is in Microsoft Edge, configure in private mode. Let's see here where it is. It's configure in private mode. Okay, in private mode to be disabled, so the user will not be able to open the option or configure in private mode availability. Here we will disable, not to disable, by the way, enable and tell him no. So, by the way, let me show you guys here something here. We need to open this, and okay, we need to open it. I think here we will see in private mode available. I think here it will be disabled, or you will see here that there is an option to call in private mode disabled. Not to disable, we need to enable the group policy and tell him in private mode disabled or in private mode disabled. Okay, so this is the second option after in private mode available. Okay, we need to do this. Okay, so this is not to be disabled, by the way, to be enabled and configure in private mode disabled. Okay, so this is one also mistake I have done when I was recording the video. And then background processing must be disabled. What is background processing? Background processing allows Microsoft Edge processes to start at OS sign in. So when you log in to the machine or to the system, the Microsoft Edge process begin automatically and keep running after the last browser window is closed. So even after you have closed the browser, it's still running in the background. In this scenario, background apps and the current browsing sessions remain active. All of your sessions to your websites and the applications you are running on the websites will still remain active. It will not be closed even if you close the browser, including any session cookies. An open background process displays an icon in the system tray and can be closed from there. So it means that the Microsoft Edge will be still working in the background. All of your websites will still not be closed. The sessions to these websites will not be closed, so it will be only in the system tray. It will be here, tucked underside, beside the time. So we need to close this kind of thing because it will take from the RAM, and actually it will be, you can the activity of the user, okay, and it will take from the RAM. So we need to disable background processing. Okay, so let's see what is background processing, or what is the explanation of background processing. I need to see where is this group policy and to see the explanation in our website. So let's continue. Okay, here you go. So here we need to tell him to configure or background processing. Here we can go to background processing. Where is background? Okay, we will continue. I think it's configure background. Let's see. So it is here, I think, configure. Okay, configure running background. Here is the group policy. Configure running background apps after Microsoft Edge close. So let's see the explanation here in the Microsoft webs or the website. Let's see here, configure. Let's see here, configure running, configure running, configure running. Why there? No. Configure running. Okay. Configure. Okay, configure running. Yes, background apps. Okay. So here, this is the same explanation that is put in the recommendation. So we don't have a lot of things to do actually. So we tell him disable, and this is one of the things. And then we will continue. The ability of sites to show pop-ups must be disabled. So we all know pop-ups when you are browsing a website and some ads, okay, or advertisements appear as a pop-up. So a new window will appear with the advertisement of a certain product or something, so certain thing. This is very, very irritating, and it takes from the RAM, because it's another browser tab or another browser window. This takes from the RAM. It is irritative, and some malware is installed by this way, by advertisements. So we need to disable pop-ups, okay, for insecure websites. You can allow pop-ups for your intranet websites, your internal websites, but not to be for websites on the internet, okay, and only to your trusted websites. Some websites allow or have some pop-ups, but not for advertisements, for something related to an application or something. Anyway, so you need to disable the ability of sites to show pop-ups. Must be disabled. Okay, so we will do this, but we can, here you can see that pop-ups can be allowed on all websites, allow pop-ups, or block to all. And I think you can make an exception for some websites. Anyway, we need to disable pop-ups. This is not a secure option. Most of the malware is installed using pop-ups, especially the advertisement pop-ups. Okay, so we tell him enable or default pop-up window setting must be enabled with an option do not allow any website to allow pop-up. Okay, so let's see how we can do this. Content setting, and then default pop-up setting. Yes, the default pop-up setting. Here you go, and default pop-up setting. Okay, I don't know why I'm doing this. Default pop-up setting to enable and do not allow any site to show pop-up. Okay. Okay. Do not allow any website to show pop-ups. And we will continue working. Then the default search provider must be set to use an encrypted connection. So if you are going for Google, for example, to search for something, when you connect to the search Google engine, your connection to your search Google engine or to search Google engine or any other search engine should be an encrypted connection. Okay, so it should not be allowed to unencrypted connection. Okay, so how we can do this? Also, this will be done using through the Edge in specific. This will be done using another group policy. We will need to configure or let him connect to certain search engines using an encrypted connection or HTTPS connection. Let's see here, for example, is an example. For example, he told him allow search engine discovery. So you can let the user to discover search engines like Edge or like Chrome, like Google or Bing, for example. tell him false. False here means that he will not be allowed to choose from the search engines. You are forcing him to use a certain search engine. For example, we are telling him to use Microsoft Ping. He can search for it by the word ping, and the search URL should be HTTPS, so he will not be able to search to any ping search engines, not secure connection. So we are allowing him to connect only to secure ping search engine URL, HTTPS. Okay, and this is the name. This is for the ping, and then you can do it for Google as well. Here is the Google. You can search with Google name, keyword Google, search URL, HTTPS. So these two search engines, the user will only connect to them using a secure connection, which is HTTPS. This refers to a secure connection. So this is a way we can force the user to use a search engine and to connect we can force him to use a specific search engine and to connect to this search engine using an encryption or an encrypted connection. So let's see how we can or let's see an example also here from the website, something called manage. Let's go here, manage manage. Yes, here we can see manage search engines, and here let's see, for example, here true here means that the allow search engine discovery, he can choose from any website or any search engine, and this is the suggested URL. Okay, it will be popped to him, the search URL, the name, and the keyword, the one that we have seen in the recommendation, okay, or on the PDF. Anyway, so this is also should be done. We are securing the connection to the search engine. This is one of the things also. We need to manage search engines. Okay, we can do this also from the group policy. I need to go further. So here, default search engine, not from here, by the way. This is not from here. Okay, this is from outside, so this is not here. I didn't see it actually, but it's not from here. So let me show you all one of the things. So if we go there, I have added in my local group policy, I have added the age group policy templates. Let's see here, or let me show you all how we can get it from here. So we can go to administrative templates, okay, and here you go, the classic, and then for the age, and you go to the age, okay, and then manage. Here you go, and you open it. Here we can open it here, okay. So I think we have it here, okay. Here it is, and then enable, and then in the search engine, okay, we will go to the PDF, okay, or the recommendation, and copy paste the example that we have seen. Okay, so this is it. Okay, let's continue working. So let me see how much minutes we have. 38 minutes. Okay, so here is the manage search engines. Okay, we have done this, and then put the example here. Okay, so manage the search engine, and then we need to go and add, not to type here the URL, no, not here. Okay, so not this one, okay, by the way, and then the other recommendation is to data synchronization must be disabled. What we mean by data synchronization, if you have Microsoft Edge on your PC, and you have Microsoft Edge on your mobile, and you have Microsoft Edge on your tablet, all of the setting of Microsoft Edge on your PC will be synced to your Microsoft Edge on your Android, to Microsoft Edge on your tablet. What we mean by setting your history, browsing history, favorites, and a lot of things. So let's see also an explanation what is Microsoft okay, Edge data sync. Let's see here this one. So if you use Edge on multiple devices, okay, you can make your life easier by syncing history, favorites, passwords. So this is very dangerous thing to do. All of your history, favorites, and passwords will be synced between Microsoft Edge along different devices. So we need to disable this kind of option. It is not secure in a production environment or in an enterprise environment. So we need to disable data synchronization. Okay, so we need to disable it. Okay, this is one of the things. We need to tell him disable synchronization of data using Microsoft Sync services. So this is one of the things. So as we can see, this most of these recommendations is to secure your Microsoft Edge within your production environment or within your enterprise environment. So you need to disable synchronization of data using Microsoft Sync services using the Microsoft Edge. Then here we see that network prediction must be disabled. Here the browser of Edge can predict some setting to be done, or he can change the setting of the browser based on some activity you are doing. So for example, here this controls DNS prefetching, TCP and SSL pre-connection and pre-rendering of web pages. So here is telling that when you are browsing certain websites, he can predict the DNS, the TCP and SSL pre-connection and pre-rendering of web pages. Let's see here. Here we need to disable the user from changing this setting. What do we mean by network prediction? Microsoft, okay, Edge network prediction. Okay, I think here network prediction. Let's see here the explanation of it. So no, anyway, let's see here. Network prediction, Microsoft Edge option. So how to turn on page prediction? It's not page prediction. Microsoft policy documentation. Let's see here this one. So he's saying that just a moment. So here he's saying that Microsoft Edge policies, available policies. Here, let's see. Enable. What's saying here? Network prediction, I think. Let's search here. Tell him find network prediction. Enable network prediction. So anyway, it's a way as it is described here. It controls the DNS prefetching, TCP, and it is a way to facilitate your browsing experience. Just to control DNS prefetching, see the most suitable, I think, DNS, or do some setting to the DNS, and TCP IP, something related to the securing of the websites. Anyway, I don't seem to understand this setting in specific. Anyway, so we need to configure it. Do not predict network actions on any network connection. So here I think so we will open I think here we need to go further, not enforce. Here we are seeing the group policy, so let's continue to get it. Enable network prediction, this is the one. So he tell him disable, I think, maybe. No, he's saying to enable it and do not predict network actions on any network connection. Okay, so this is it. So we'll enable it and tell him to do not predict network actions on any network connection. Okay, and tell him apply and okay. And this will not let the user change the setting. Okay, and he will not predict network actions on any network anyway. So we need to tell him apply and okay. And then we need to go and continue working with our recommendations. Here search suggestions must be disabled. Enable web search suggestions in the Microsoft Edge address bar and auto suggest list, and prevents users from changing the enable web search suggestions. Okay, in Microsoft address bar auto suggest and prevent user. If this policy is enabled, web search suggestions are used. If it is disabled, web search suggestions are never used. However, local history and local favorite suggestions still appear. Okay, this is it. If this policy is disabled, neither the typed characters nor the URL visited will be included in telemetry. It will not be sent to the telemetry setting of Microsoft. So I don't know why he need to disable it. He will not suggest, maybe here, because he is not confident in what your web search suggestions will get you, or the websites, maybe the Google engine or the ping engine will suggest websites that are not secure for you. So here he is disabling web search suggestions. Okay, maybe this is something, if you are in a very secure environment, you need not to let the user go to websites recommended by a third party, either than your company, of course. Okay, so I think this is very clear. Your local history or local favorites will be suggested, okay, but the web search suggestions will not be enabled. Okay, it will be in the Microsoft address bar. So we all know, for example, if I try to type a website in my bar in my browser, it will begin giving me some suggestions for some websites. Okay, and this he need to disable it. Okay, anyway, this is very thing to understand, or I completely understand why something like this should be implemented. Here I think I need to do something, guys. Here, for example, if we open the Edge, let me open the Edge. And see if we can type some data. For example, if we type if you type here, for example, maybe Google, here you can see these are my this is my history. Okay, but let's, for example, if you type Microsoft, so this is the search suggestions. Let's see here, he is giving me ping search, or this that I have browsed earlier. But let's, for example, type CNN, maybe CNN. Okay, I have typed it, I have visited CNN, BBC. So here we can see these are suggestions, okay, for websites that I can go. This is the search or the web search. Okay, we can see it from here. Okay, anyway, I think I can let it here because maybe we will use it later. So we need to disable this kind of option. Okay, so we need to tell him enable search suggestions to be disabled. Okay, enable search suggestions to be disabled. Okay, it's in also the Microsoft Edge, enable. Okay, let's continue. Enable search suggestions. We need to disable this option. Disable, okay, and apply and okay. apply and OK, and then we will continue working for the upcoming recommendations. So then importing of autofill form data must be disabled. Let's first see how much time we have. Okay, I think I will maybe stop at this recommendation, and we will continue working with it the next time. This is the minute number 2047 of this video. Is informative for you all, and thank you all for viewing. Thank you so much.